Alright, so for part 4 we're going to fix our gears into our case, and we'll have to constrain the motion so they both rotate together. To start with, we're going for constrain, and we can constrain the axis of this bearing over here with this one. Alright, click apply. We'll do the same for the second one. We can either do it for the bearing or for the shaft itself, since they're all connected together, and apply. Afterwards we're going for the flush. We're going to constrain, or before that we can go for the motion. For the motion, as you can see, there's two sides, either to have both gears forward together or reverse, and we have the gear ratio. To get our gear ratio, we'll go to design and spur gear. Over here, after you input all your information from the number of teeth, the face width, the center distance, and gear ratio will be calculated for you once you press calculate. So our gear ratio is 1.8333, so we copy that and go for assemble, constrain. Before we go constrain, just make sure that currently they are not overlapping each other. You can simply rotate them. Alright, so now they're not overlapping each other. So when we go for constrain, we can choose the motion, we insert our value, I believe we check reverse one, and okay. So alright, after fixing them to our case, we'll check it because we need to ground it. So let us ground our case. Alright, then continue with the constraint, and we will check if it was working, if it's correct or not. So we'll go for the surface, apply, the same for all of the sides, apply, and the same over here, apply. Alright, to check our gears, I'm going to disable this case. Alright, they are rotating together and they are not overlapping. Since the gear ratio is correct, so they will continue rotating with the same manner. Alright, so nothing is overlapping the other one. Alright, we go back to the home position. So now almost everything seems okay and everything is working fine. So I will enable the case again back, this one, enable it, adjust the view. I'm going just to put the finishing touch on the case by using the fillet option. All of the edges better to be covered with a fillet. Right, and we're almost done. We'll change it to 5, and okay. We can add also a fillet from we already have a fillet from the inside, I believe. If we hidden this one, Alt V, sorry, I don't want to measure, so Alt V, check it from here. Alright, we can add a fillet on these corners. And okay. Alright, hopefully this isn't redundant. It feels so I'm going to Ctrl Z. Alright, so no need for this, unless if I did it, but I can reduce it to 2. Okay, this is better. Alright, now I'm going to get back the cover. Alright, and I will be adding the bolts, and we have the bearing cap. So for the bearing cap, you're going for create. We choose the browse templates button and metric standard part. We go for let's give it a name, gear cap, click OK and place it. We go for sketch, we start by a line, we go for the XY plane. Over here we'll make a small line with a length of, we can make it with any length, it's okay. This will be our rotation axis for creating the bearing cap, and we can check the dimensions over here. Adjust the view, go for bearing cap's dimension. Alright, so we have it from here, from 12, then we have this portion 5 and this 2, from down to top is 8, then 3, then 15, so 8, 3, 15. Alright, and the distance between the center, which is, this is the line that we drew, which is our rotation axis. So I'll change the layer, I'll just measure how much it is. It's 16. Alright, so we go back to inventor, so we go up by 16, and then we go over here by 14, then by 8, 3, and then 26, then 5, and then by 15. Alright, so now we're going to close it. Right, I will delete this line, we don't need it. Alright, so this is it. We'll copy it because we're going to repeat it for the pinion bearing cap, but it will have a different dimensions. So for now we go for finish sketch. We will go for 3D model, revolve it, we'll choose the profile and the axis will be this line. Alright, so to rotate around it, we click OK, adjust the view, then we're going to add the mounting holes for our bolts by clicking on the surface, then click create sketch. Alright, so for the circle, the mounting holes are, first we need to make a small circle over here to get its axis. Any circle, we won't be using it except for the circular pattern. Then we make a straight line better with a height of 27 it was. Alright, then the circle was 6 millimeter in diameter. Then we're going to delete this line over here, go for circular pattern, choose the geometry, then axis. We'll choose this axis of the circle, click OK, finish sketch, adjust the view a little bit, go for extrude, choose all the profiles. We don't need the inner circle, it was only for the circular pattern. We choose cut, click OK, check it from the back side, everything's fine, return. Then we're going to add our bearing cap for the pinion bearing cap. Alright, so I'll click anywhere, we go for sketch, line and the plane. We will paste the sketch we took before, and this one over here needs to be 3, we'll accept. We will take this one, some dimensions are not necessary, so we'll delete this one. This one should be editable now. Alright, so now we can edit this one, and we go to the 2D sketch to check the dimensions. So 15, 3, 5, 15, 3, here 5, and click OK. So this is the only change, I believe. Yeah, the rest are the same. all the other dimensions are the same. The same drawing will be similar to everyone, and here I believe this will change also if we measured it from the center. Go for dimension, from here to here it's 8. Alright, so this value is 8 over here. So instead of 16 we are putting 8. Just again to check from the center to this side. Alright, it is 8. So that's it. We click finish sketch. We go for 3D model, revolve, we choose the profile, then choose the axis, click OK, then we rotate, then click on this surface, click create sketch. We'll have one small circle over here to get its axis, then we'll get this line. We want it to be of a height of how much it was, 18, yes, 18. Then the circle over here with a diameter of 4 millimeters. Now we'll delete this line and create a circular pattern. We choose the geometry and then the axis. Alright, okay, finish sketch, 3D model, extrude. We choose each profile for each mounting hole, then choose cut and OK. Have a look from the back, everything seems fine. Return, save our work. OK, go to the home position. Now we're going to create a copy of this one and a copy of this one. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. This one is for the bearing and this one for the pinion. So we're going for constrain. We'll constrain each axis by simply clicking on the shaft. It's the easiest way. And over here, apply. Sorry, I made a mistake. We go back for Ctrl Z, or you can delete them from the relationships folder from here. So these two were for the gear and these two for the bearing. Again with the constrain. Okay, again axis, apply, and then for this one with this one, apply, and over here for these two with the shaft over here, apply, and for this one with this side, apply. Then we take them a little bit out and from the other side also. Alright, so now again with the constraint, we check this side, we want it to face this side, apply. This side, we want it to face with this side, apply. The same for the other bearings. You want this side to face this side of the case, and the same with this one. And okay, so now we have our bearing caps, but they rotate, so they shouldn't be rotating. So we're going to add the bolts, and we can add them by first save. Alright, we go to place from content center. We go for the fasteners, then hex head, if bolts, hex head. I'm choosing this one which has a minus screwdriver hub. Click OK. Now I'm going to add it. Once it identifies the mounting hole, it will adjust the bolt, and then it will give you a green tick which says you can insert it. So then it identifies all the available mounting holes, and you simply click apply, and the same for the rest. It will take some time. Alright, Click OK. You can see that it didn't define the size of the holes, so it choose the proper space. As you can see, for this one it's M5 into 10, apply. For this one it was M3 into 6. Alright, now for the case cover itself, let's give it some time. Alright, so this one is M6 into 12, click OK. And for this one M10 into 20. Okay, so now we're going to disable the case and check if the bolts are fitting well. So a little bit rotate it. So as you can see, the bolts are not coming through, so we'll have to increase their size or length, so we can choose them. We still need a few more. Alright, right click, replace from content center. We'll choose the same bolt. We'll change the length 16, 20. Okay, so 20 seems fine. Alright, we'll save our work. Then we're going to place the bolts, or before that we can also adjust the sizes of these bearings over here, or sorry, these bolts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just checking. 1, 2. Seems as if there's some bolts that have been repeated. So replace from content center, the same bolt. We can choose 30, apply. So 30 is a little bit small. We can choose them again. You just have to highlight them all. Alright, replace from content center, same bolt, keep it 35 and click OK. Alright, so 35 seems a little bit better. So we'll have, you can see there's some small space over here left, so we can adjust that. And also you can see there's some space over here, so we can either increase the width of the bolts, or we can reduce the diameter of the hole, mounting hole. Alright, so now we're going to constrain the bolts, because you see they still rotate. So we go for constrain. Alright, we'll choose the axis of the bolt and the axis of the mounting hole and click apply. Okay, we have a problem over here. Just make sure. Okay, now we'll have to identify why is this happening. If we try to use the pinion, it seems to have something with the extra 2 bolts that I can't find. Alright, so it happened for this one without any problem. So it seems that there are some bolts that we can't find. So I will choose these and delete them. Alright, I will repeat the operation now. So constrain, alright, the same problem, cancel it. We are going to delete these bolts. sorry, not the shaft. Delete. Then place from content center, same bolts. Alright, escape, constrain. Alright, so I need to increase their length again. Right click, replace from content center. So we chose 20. Alright, constrain. Alright, we still have the problem. Let's try to diagnose. Alright, I'll pause the video for now. Alright, after some investigation, it seems that it's already constrained. So they are not moving even after adding these bolts. So these are the new bolts. So they were constrained from before. And then we'll have to check also the key connection, what happened to it. And we can delete them all and repeat it, even for a better results, to make sure what happened. So place from content center, we go again with the bolts, apply, alright. So now escape, and after then I will be selecting all of the bolts. And alright, so here's the problem. When we replaced all of these bolts, they don't have the same values. So when we replace them all together, we replace them all with the same values, because when we click to replace, we replace them all by one size, but they are actually two sets. The upper gear, the upper bearing have a bigger size than the lower one. So you just need to put that in mind. So I'll delete them again and go for place. I will do the first set only for the gear without the pinion, and the same over here, and apply. Right, so this is the first set. They all share the same M5 into 10 and then their ID number. After that I'll be adding the bolts for the pinion. Alright, now I'll escape it, click escape. So we can see the difference in the rating, which is M5 into 10 and here M3 into 6. So for this we're going to choose only the first set alone. So right click on it, replace from content center, with same bolts. We're going to choose 20 millimeter. Alright, then we choose the second set, right click, replace from content center, and we choose 20. Click OK. Alright, then we save. So now we're going to constrain them. Just need to constrain it, cancel it, rotate it a little bit. Again constrain the axis and apply. Alright, so we still have the same problem. Alright, if we check the bearing caps, they all can freely rotate. We still didn't constrain them, except for this one where we get the error. So to check it, we can check the relationships it have. There's this one and this one. We can go further for the relationships folder. We have this one, mate number 27, and the insert are for the bolts. So we'll delete this and check. Now we can rotate it freely. So now we're going back to try the constraint. Sorry, cancel. Constraint again. Apply. We still have the problem. Click cancel. It rotates freely. Alright, we'll finish the other bearings. Apply. And for this one, apply. And for this one, apply. So seemingly there's something that we're missing about this one that I still can't figure it out. Mate. We can go into the bearing cap folder. These are the only two relations we have, so I'm going to delete them. So now it moves totally free, and then I will add the constraints again, just in case I made a mistake while doing these constraints. So this one, and then the surface. Just to again repeat the step. Alright, apply, and this. Okay, so it worked. It seemed that I made a mistake while doing the previous constraints. Alright, so save it. Now we go back to our case and enable it. So just to check again, disable it, and then we'll add the bolts. We go for place from content center. Sorry, for the nuts, we will be adding the nuts. Choose hex nuts. We can choose any one you want. We go this one. So we can add them. Click on right on the hole, click apply. Alright, the same over here. Apply. Alright, now I'm going to enable the case cover. I'm sorry, the case, and disable the case cover itself. You just click escape and visibility. Sorry, visible and enabled. So all of this, Alt V, will be hidden. Alt V. Alright, I'll be adding the bolts over here. Wait, we still need to do the constraints for these two. Constrain them. The axis with this. Apply, and the same for here, and apply. Alright, we close it. We place from the content center. We choose the nut we want. We click on the hole itself, click OK, and the same over here, apply. Alright, so escape, save, then again make everything else visible, Alt V. Alright, so again Alt V. Alright, for the bolts also, and here Alt V. Alright, So now we're going to place again from the content center. We'll add bolts for the case itself. We'll go with hex head. It shows the same as previous. We click on the case itself, apply, and over here and apply. Alright. Okay, so just to remove these looks that came up, we go for the gear and hide the sketch, Alt V. The same for the pinion, Alt V. Alright. To check the key connection, we can edit using design accelerator and click OK again, just to accept the modifications that happened. Alright, so we can disable the case cover and check the bolts. Currently we can see that the bolt isn't going into the hole that we created for it, and there's some space over here, so we can either increase the diameter of the bolt or reduce the diameter of the mounting hole, and then we can increase its length. So we can select them all, and the same for this one, we can increase its length. So after selecting them, we can go for replace from content center, the same bolt. We can choose 35 and M8, click OK. Get a closer look. So there's some small space, then we can adjust the mounting hole, and the same for these two. These 4 mounting holes. Replace from content center, the same bolt, make it M12 and 35. Okay. Alright, it's a little bit bigger than the mounting hole, but we can adjust that later. Alright, so save it. Yes to all. Okay. The case and enable it. So that's it for this part. Thank you.